I wore gel on my nails for 3 weeks just to show you how to remove it with a minimal damage, and you don't need electric file and you don't need any special tools. If you are new to the channel, my name is Anna. I'm a nail technician and I specialize in natural nail care. On these 4 nails, I wore Cuccio Universal Base. And on the thumbs, I wore Manucurist Green Flash, which is not really a gel, but why not? You'll see how to remove this LED cured polish. And I have a huge favor to ask. If you like my videos or if you find the videos helpful, can you please forward them to someone who is interested in very simple natural nail care, because you can't always rely on YouTube to show the videos to the right people. Thank you so much. I have just cotton, foil. So this is how big the foil pieces are. I don't know what they are, but like the length of, let's say, my finger, and this way. And I just have pure acetone with a little bit of glycerine. By the way, it really works. So I'm going to take the gel off. So this is a Manucurist polish on these nails. So this is something different. This comes off super easy. But I have soakable gel on these nails and I shortened them, I would say, once a week. So this is 3 weeks growth. My nails grow pretty slow. This is 3 weeks. And the gel has yellowed a little bit. That's normal because all these gels are a little porous. And I've been making marmalade. And I think that's when it yellowed a little bit. So, and the gel is very, very thin. As you can see, there's barely any product on the nail. Okay, so now I'm going to just take a file. So this is 180 grit. So I'm going to take the 180 grit and just remove the shine from the nail without filing into the natural nail. So just with very, very little pressure, I'm staying away from the natural nail. So I'm staying on a product, just making sure that all the shine is removed, and that's it. On to the next nail. And I'm going to do one hand at a time. This is really important. Much easier this way when you're doing this on yourself. And I get a lot of questions. People are asking how to remove the gels. So if the gel is soakable, then you can remove it this way. If it's a hard gel, then it would be much more difficult to remove it this way. So you would have to file off most of it and then buff off the rest. But this is a soakable gel and it's a very flexible gel. It's going to come off this way. And so if the gel is much thicker on your nails, I would file off majority of it with hand file. I really don't recommend you guys use electric file because you can do a lot of damage. It's very difficult to see where the product ends and the natural nail starts, and you can end up with a lot of damage. That takes months to grow out because nails don't heal, they just have to grow out. So now what I'm going to do, take a small piece. So I'm going to saturate it well. Almost dripping, because you want to make sure that this is not very dry. So now this is difficult to do on your own nails. So some people use the clips. I'm not a huge fan of the clips. I find that the remover evaporates. So I prefer to do this over my knee, so I have a little bit more, my hand is a little bit more supported. And you can twist it. Make sure that it's tight, okay? It takes a little bit of practice. Just make sure, try to make sure that the cotton doesn't really move away from the nail, right? Because you don't want to have it on the bottom of the nail, because this is not going to help. With this one, that way you'll see 2-in-1 removals. This is going to take very little time to soak off. See, this is much easier when I do this on the clients. Much more difficult when I do it on myself. So I'm going to give this nail a minute and these nails 10 minutes. Okay, this has been a minute. We'll see how this comes off. Twist it off. Came off pretty clean. So here's what I'm going to do. There's still a little bit of base coat left. Tiny bit. Actually, yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a towel that's not very soft. And then I'm going to remove the last bit with the towel. I find that this just has, it's a little bit more abrasive without being too abrasive. So just use like an old kitchen towel or something. Look how nice and clean this is. Perfect. Okay, so these nails still need at least 8 minutes. Okay, so I actually added little clips like this, and they hold the product, they hold everything in place really nice. So I'm going to leave the other ones, and I just put a bottle here because I prefer to work this way, so I have a just better angle. I can support my hand. I find this way, I just don't have the right angle, and I can put too much pressure on the nail. Okay, so just do it this way. So you see when the gel is applied thin, it comes off very, very well. Again, I'm gonna grab a towel, and it's important to do one nail at a time. If you remove the foil from all the nails, the product is going to almost like harden up again. So just squeeze this a little bit and pull it. Now, every gel comes off differently. This is the Cuccio Universal Base. I like the way this one soaks off because it almost becomes like soft, and it's easier to, I don't know, remove it. It's really good. Some of them almost come off in little chunks, but they feel dry. So you have to be careful that you don't pull on those chunks because you can really, really damage your nail. Also, what I don't recommend doing, again, towel. I don't recommend using these tools. Now, some of them, many of them look very similar, so it's really difficult to tell you if these ones are okay or not, because some of them, I have some of them that are much more dull on the end, and by pushing the product off, they're not going to damage the nail. But this one is like razor sharp, as you can see. I'm not sure if you can see. So I don't recommend this one at all. Again, this product, because it's so soft, even if I put a little bit of pressure, I just know that it's not going to lift the nail with it. So at this point, if you're feeling that the gel is still hard or some chunks didn't come off, maybe in some areas the gel was thicker or something, just rewrap. It's better to have patience for this, because then if you damage your nails, you're going to have patience for 4 months to let the nails grow out. Let's see. So you probably wonder why my nails are not damaged. So the damage comes from 3 different things. First, people file the nails too much when they are prepping them, when they're preparing for the gel application. Number 2 is when you are actually wearing the product, you are relying for the gel to give you strength. And that just, you know, when you're hitting the nail and the nail has product on it, it's going to lift the layers of the natural nail. And then those layers, when the gel is soaked off, are going to just come off. And you're losing layers and layers of the natural nail. And also, the nails can get very damaged during the removal. So all these 3 things are really equally important. So, you know, we can be very, very careful in the salon how we are prepping the nail. We can be very careful how we are removing the product. But if you are not very careful with your nails, then you can definitely damage them during the wear as well. Okay, time for the other side. I'm going to use, again, the 180 grit. So you have to be careful. Just do it very, very slow. You see how I'm doing this? I'm not doing this, because if you do this, you're just going file into your nail. So I think it's important to remember my approach to gel is very, very different. It's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I think that the gel should be considered a decoration and not function. So I don't rely on the gel for strength. I rely on strength from the natural nails. So I try to keep the natural nail as healthy and as thick as possible. Then I won't need as much gel. Someone had asked me if this is better or the cut up makeup pads are better. I think they're very similar. I'm just trying this for now. I think they're both good. You have to try for yourself and see what works for you better. If you can hear the beeping sound. We have guys fixing the street in the salon. So that's what it is. They're back at it. I have to say, not easy. So I'm going to put the little clips. Well, actually, I'm going to wrap this one as well. So one thing to remember, usually, the longer the product is lasting, the more resistant it is to any staining, any scratches, or anything like that. The more difficult it is to remove it. So each product has pros and cons. Like this one removes so easily, but it doesn't last as long, definitely, as the other products. And this I'm talking about is the Manucurist LED gel polish, or LED nail polish. It's very, very close to nail polish. That's why I call it LED nail polish. It's not really a gel. Okay, 10 minutes now. Okay, I forgot to remove this one, so it's been a minute and a half or something. Okay, so with the Manucurist, somehow the base coat sticks to the nail and doesn't want to come off. I think the new one, this is the old one, the new one comes off, I think, a little bit different, but not a big deal because this comes off like a nail polish, you see? You really don't want to be even scraping it. It's not needed whatsoever. So here it is. And so this is obviously, this has acetone on it, right? So be careful with it. Don't use this near any candles, anything like that, any open flames. Don't put it in the dryer because you don't want your house to go poof, right? So dry it out. You can just put it outside so it doesn't stink, and then you can just wash it. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. So let's see how this comes off. So this is a little bit more difficult to remove. I mean, difficult to handle. So I'm going to do it this way. So as you can see, this one is coming off not as easily as the other ones, but I can feel that I'm not applying excessive pressure, and the product is very gummy and it removes quite easily. So if the product gives me a lot of resistance, then I will stop because I don't want to damage the nail. Okay, so all of it is removed. The product is still a little soft. I'm just going to remove it with a towel. So now there are a lot of people that are saying that filing the product off is better than soaking in acetone because the acetone is very drying. Okay, that's not my experience. That's not my experience. Even I'm very, very comfortable with electric file, but I'm not that comfortable removing the product all the way down to the natural nail. I'm really not that comfortable because it's very, very easy to miss where the product ends and the natural nail starts. Okay. And the dryness of the acetone, or the acetone, the fact that it's drying. Acetone is drying, but it's not damaging to the nail, as you can see. And from what I see, I mean, yes, people are very skilled with electric files, but I do notice a lot of surface damage, like a lot of redness, which indicates thinning of the natural nail. So I would rather do this. So I used primer on the tips for this product to stay a little bit better, but it's still easy. It's still easy to remove it. If you like the little tip of me using the towel, please let me know in the comment section. I think this is brilliant. I love it. I think this is way more effective than the cotton. So normally you would want to start with the nail that you first wrapped, and this is what I did as well. So this is how I'm holding the little stick. Okay, so there's still a little bit of the gel, like it's just a little rough, and I don't want to take a buffer block because if I take a buffer block, really, it might just take some of my nail, but I'm going to leave my nails natural now. So I want to keep, you know, every single little cell of the natural nail. So now, because I'm leaving the natural nails, you can probably see that the look of these nails has changed a little bit. So the tips are more white. And why is that? Because gel or any coating, even nail polish, it raises the moisture level in the natural nails and the nails become more clear. So when you take the product off, the nail balances itself out. It dries out, the moisture evaporates. So at first, the nails might be a little bit more flexible, which is absolutely normal. Don't think that they're really damaged. They're just a little bit more flexible because there is just a lot of water in the nail. So within an hour or so, that water is going to evaporate and the nail is going to come back to its original flexibility. An important part. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let these nails dry out a little bit, and I'm going to do a warm oil soak. If you are interested in how to do the warm oil soak, this is a very important step, because what happens is the gel or gel polish or nail polish doesn't allow the oil to penetrate the product. So the nails don't receive any oil. And the oil is not really for moisturization purposes. It actually plasticizes the nail and it conditions the nail. So when the nails have a coating, they are not being conditioned anymore. So it's very important between a nail polish application. I mean, this is in ideal world is to do a warm oil soak and then reapply the product. Or ideally you want to dry the nails out, do a warm oil soak, and then possibly reapply the next day. So as you can see, other than this little nail, the nails are not very damaged. But you know, the thing is, if you do this over and over and over again, you might end up with some surface damage. So just be very, very gentle with your nails, and don't think just because you have gel, the nails won't get damaged. And don't think that the nails are stronger, because with wearing the product, they are actually getting a little bit weaker. One more thing I wanted to mention. So what to do when you are not so lucky and when your nails are very damaged after the removal of the gel. If you want to go back to your natural nails, what I would recommend is to just shorten the nails after they have dried out. Shorten the nails as short as possible and do weekly warm oil soaks. You might want to just put a coat of clear nail polish in between, just so the nails feel a little bit better. And unfortunately, the damage just has to grow out, because so many people are asking me for strengtheners, for products that will nurture the nail. And unfortunately, in my opinion, these products don't exist. They only work, a lot of the strengtheners, unfortunately, they only work when they are on the nail, but underneath the nail is getting more and more damaged. So the best strengthener, in my opinion, is polish-free strengthener. So oil is one of the best things you can do for your nails. So warm oil soak and applying oil to the skin after each hand wash, and using products like the Rescue RX, C&D Rescue RX, or the Isden pen in combination with the jojoba soaks. That's the best thing you can do, and just be patient, because it's going to take months for the damaged part to grow out. And here is how my nails look after the warm oil soak. As you can see, they're not dirty. I know this looks really dirty, but this is just, the nail becomes very clear when it has absorbed a lot of the oil, and that's what it looks like. So what can I say? They're not dirty. And this is how they look in the regular light.